Mods can feel a bit overwhelming. Don't forget to join the Vox Machinae Discord to get tips and build ideas from some pros. In this video, I'll explain how you can use mods to get the most out of your grinder. Let's start with Absorbent Coating, a passive mod that renders your ride invisible on the radar, but only if you're standing still or moving at a speed of 1 on the throttle. This is useful for snipers and hammer players. Note that using your jets will often make you too fast and reveal your position on the radar. However, hovering in place with the overhaul's hummingbird drives keeps you in stealth. Target recognition is another passive mod which allows you to identify the enemy grinders on the radar without having to physically see them. This is great for recon and to help you decide which fights you want to get into. Ram air intake is a popular passive mod for fast grinders. This mod cools down your heat the faster you're moving. Since this mod needs speed, forget about it on slower moving mechs. It synergizes well with the thermal pump module, which allows you to trade heat for fuel. Right, the thermal pump mod requires you to set a hotkey to toggle it on and off. When active, this module creates fuel by generating heat. This can be insanely useful to give you that mobility edge to escape danger or to save yourself from falls or bumps. And I only used it to generate maybe a bar or two when I'm low on fuel. Try not to overdo it or else you'll be running so hot you can't even fire any weapons. Safety override is another passive mod which activates as soon as you die or eject. It holds down the trigger from your dead body and initially fires where you're facing before your grinder ragdolls to the floor. But be careful, the weapon fire can hit allies as well. Since this mod only lasts for a short while after death, it's wise to only try it with loadouts that dish out a lot of quick and sustained damage, like lasers and missile packs for example. The air brake mod must be set to a hotkey. Once used, it stops all lateral, forward, and backward movement. One common use is flying quickly towards an enemy looking like you're about to overshoot them, then suddenly slam on the air brakes when you're in their blind spot. As with ram air intake, this mod is generally only used with fast moving mechs. It can also save you if you're being pelted by skyjackers, and can be used with the drill to help position yourself over an enemy as you try to drill down from above. Power venting needs to be set to a hotkey. It's basically the opposite of thermal pump since it converts fuel into cooling. The trade isn't all that efficient, but can be useful on something like the drill since you can drill the ground for infinite fuel while firing heat-intensive weapons like the railgun. Auxiliary pump is a passive mod which allows your grinder to regenerate fuel while shut down, something you normally can't do. You may be asking, why would you ever want to shut down? Well, turning off your engine makes you invisible on radar, cools your heat faster, and prevents skyjackers from doing any damage even if you're careening through the air. I use this mod on grinders that need to shut down often due to high heat production, since I'm often taking a sec to shut down between fights and want my fuel to regenerate while I'm venting all that heat. Backup generator is a mod which allows you to use your weapons while shut down. To do this, bring down your zoom screen to aim at the enemies. Sure, your grinder cools down quickly and is invisible on the radar while shut down, but it's very easy for enemies to sneak up on you with this narrow field of view. Finally, Coolant Flush is a hotkey mod that shuts down your grinder and removes heat quickly. The only problem is that you have to wait for it to run through its entire cycle. You can't end the process early, leaving you committed and vulnerable. Also, since this mod actually disables your grinder, you can't use backup generator or auxiliary pump mod with it active. Click here to learn some more tips and secrets about Vox Machinae and sub to join my growing channel.